furnace held the world record and turned out more steel than any other electric furnace anywhere else in the world. What you're about to witness is a representation of how scrap steel was recycled by an electric arc furnace. A process that once took 90 minutes. But first, let's make sense of where you are, why it's significant in the history of steelmaking, and what you're about to witness. First, this melting shop is as big as a cathedral, so you navigate your way around by landmarks. Way down to your right, past 4 more furnaces like this one, is the Sheffield end. Over to your left, past F furnace, is the Rotherham end, where the molten steel is refined, cooled, and cast into giant pieces known as billets, before being shipped off for finishing, and then onto manufacturers worldwide. Here, in the middle, where you are, is where the melting takes place. That incidentally, is scrap being loaded, ready to charge the furnace. It's stored in huge pens behind where you're standing. Up until the 1960s, steelmaking was a back-breaking process. Armies of men toiled day and night, stocking row upon row of greedy, smoke-belching, coal-fired open-hearth furnaces. At the flick of a switch, this electric arc furnace changed all that. Our appetite for cars drove up demand for cheaper steel. Cheaper steel meant faster production, forcing steelers to harness the power of a lightning bolt. 14 coal furnaces struggled to produce in 12 hours. E and its 5 sisters in Temple did with volcanic ease in less than 90 minutes. And now, for our demonstration. First, you need power. The transformer house delivers it. Each melt gobbles up 750 million units of electricity, equivalent to the consumption of a town the size of, say, Rochdale. Here's the control room. From here, the first hand melter would direct proceedings right up to the moment of pouring or tapping the molten steel. To the right is the furnace itself. It can tilt backwards and forwards at the touch of a button. Further right, that funnel contraption, that's a heat exchanger. It recycles waste heat from the furnace to pre-warm the scrap basket. And finally, the scrap basket, where the process begins. The scrap basket's now being hoisted over to the furnace by the basket crane operator. Making quality steel means using a balance of graded scrap. Everything from heavy stuff as big as girders to industrial waste like metal shavings and nuts and bolts. It's mixed up with limestone, which soaks up impurities, and pig iron to give it zest by aiding combustion. In order to achieve maximum melt, the team will need to charge the furnace twice. Is the furnace lid being swung out of the way, ready to receive the first charge? What's critical is aiming 80 tons of scrap directly into the furnace. Now, with the lid back in position, it's time to power up. Lowered through holes in the furnace melting shop manager Roger Garbutt opened a Christmas card. It was addressed to his melters, and he